All right, Leos, welcome to your May of 2016 Sidereal Astrology forecast. I'm Athen, and this is for Sidereal Astrology. If you are new to the channel, be sure to check out the link down below because the signs are different. All right, so Leo, this month I'm going to talk about all the major events. We've got, of course, a new moon, a full moon. We've got planets shifting sign. We've got Jupiter and Mercury going direct. And the final Jupiter squaring up to Saturn aspect, which has been going on since August of last year, culminating this this disciplined work towards these possibilities in life with Jupiter in your first house. There's been a lot of opportunities, a lot of expansion, a lot of possibilities. That starts to move forward with that Jupiter, but Saturn's here making sure it's done correctly, right, grounded, maturely, and long term. So we'll talk about these major events. If you do want a more specific look at this month, do stay tuned for the weeklies where I go into this in detail. All right, so this month, let's go ahead and start off by looking at what is at the beginning of the month. We've got the Sun, we've got Mercury retrograde, and Venus all in Aries. So a lot of concentration here in your 9th house. This is the house of adventure, of travel, of nature, of expanding your horizons. And that might be specifically like, travel and stuff like that, or it could be spiritually or through knowledge, such as through university or philosophy, spirituality, expanding your mind, expanding your spirit in life in that sense. So a very good month for that stuff. With your ruler of the Sun here, you're gaining energy, you're gaining prana when it comes to these 9th house activities, which can be fantastic. You've got Mercury retrograde here, so it's good to think about it and reflect and try new things with it and be malleable and see if new information comes to light. You can try something new, something different with it. And Venus is here. You can enjoy it, I think, quite a bit. So a lot of concentration there. The first major event of the month is on the 6th, which is going to be that new moon in that 9th house of yours. So at that time, there's a bit of a lowering of energy, so it's good to kind of meditate with it, plant new seeds with it, set your intentions with anything involving those adventurous spirits of life, and really your life path. I mean, that's what the 9th house is all about. It's about seeing your purpose and cultivating that. And although it may not always be clear, depending on our personal charts, it's from within. It's a spirit. It's a 9th house, a fire house. And so it's not so much conceptualized as much as it's just doing what you're guided to do, and listening to spirit and seeing how synchronicities and events in your life are unfolding perhaps in a certain direction, which give you that sense of purpose there. So that's going to be the strong energy, specifically the first half with all of that energy there and this new moon. This new moon is very supportive. In fact, it is forming a kite and it's going to be conjoining up to Venus and that Mercury retrograde. So again, it's a bit malleable, but very supportive new moon nonetheless. Now on the 9th, Jupiter goes direct. Finally, it seems like it took a long time this time, but it's only been 5 months. So over these past 5 months, if you've been reflecting on the possibilities in your life, and this has been specifically for you with Jupiter in your first house, your goals, your drives, your ambitions, your self-image. If you've been learning a lot about this for the last 5 months, that's fantastic, because now Jupiter starts to go direct. And a lot of that forward-moving momentum where you guys can see more opportunities to expand your horizons, see more opportunities in the outward environment once that energy starts to move forward, especially by the end of the month, once he's gained his momentum. So that's great because you got the North Node here, and it's all new for you because your North Node hasn't been here in 18 years in terms of you cultivating these things that are important for you in life, and Jupiter's here helping you see what those might be, or at least learn more about yourself in the process and see where you can have, again, that adventurous type of spirit. Now on the 14th, the Sun does shift into Taurus, followed by Venus on the 19th. So there is this shift going into your 10th house of career and legacy this second half. So the first half, I think, opening the month, great for that adventure, great for philosophy, great for opening your mind and stuff. The second half, probably more in the productive sense. I think, especially with your Sun on the 14th and onward, a good time to see the career, focus on the career, the legacy, anything you do productively or what you might consider success or public in your life. Good areas for you to focus. You're gaining energy here. Venus on the 19th means you can enjoy it, maybe meet people in this sphere and just enjoy the process of your career, public life, the second half. Now on the 21st, we've got a full moon, which is going to be right on the cusp between Libra and Scorpio. So this is your 3rd and your 4th house. And the full moon is a sort of status checkpoint. It's also a high point. There can be culminations with these areas of life. For you, it's specifically involving your immediate environment of the third house, which is everything from communication to learning to reading to short distance travel to socializing. These kinds of things could be a culmination point, or at least awareness point for you there. And the other one is your fourth house, which is about home, family, and your roots. So if there's anything you've been specifically involved with either of these two areas over the past 6 months, this can be the high point. But at the very least, you're seeing the awareness, you're seeing the status check, and what you can do to continue to implement these areas in your life. Now, it can be a motivating full moon because it is going to be conjoining up to Mars. Now that Mars is retrograde, so you're likely reflecting on the home and family stuff this first half of the month with Mars retrograde in that Scorpio. And then the second half of the month, you're probably reflecting on the communication, right? And the learning and the reading and the writing and the immediate stuff, the practical things in your life. So it's good to reflect on that, but still the full moon is an active time. And I feel like with that Mars energy, can be motivating, depends on your personal chart, but good nonetheless to move forward with continuing to cultivate those areas. Now on the 22nd, Mercury goes station direct, which is great. So there's a lot of the stuff that you have been reflecting on in terms of, again, your life path that can begin to move forward for you. And it does take time for Mercury to gain momentum, but especially as we go into June, implementing that stuff that you learn and learning more about it. And it could become outward, you know, if it is a time for you where, you know, because it always is, the life path's always shifting, is always changing. And so it might be taking on a new direction for you. And there could be some clarity around that this second half. Now, the last aspect, the last major thing of the month is going to be on the 26th, Jupiter squaring up to Saturn for the last and final time. This has been that, you know, with these possibilities and with you seeing perhaps the inspirations of life with Jupiter in that first house, Saturn is here making sure you're taking it seriously and grounded, and you're doing it in that mature sort of way, specifically with the emotional body, specifically with building foundations in your life, such as your home, your family, your personal life, right? It's a good time for you to really take these things seriously with Saturn down there in your fourth house, maybe even with your health, you know. And so with that, Saturn's saying, yep, it's a great time to expand, it's a great time to move forward, but this is the roots you have to form in order to do that in a healthy and long-term sort of way. All right, Leo, so have a fantastic month. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys all next time.